Once upon a time, television ruled the world. It created stars, sold dreams, and made networks and advertisers billions of dollars by monetizing our attention. But that era didn't die. It just moved. The golden age of television is on YouTube. And if you understand how it works, you'll understand how to turn attention into real revenue, just like the biggest brands and creators do. I'm Neil Patel. At my ad agency, NP Digital, we run ads for some of the most recognizable brands in the world. And today, I'm breaking down why YouTube has become the new television, why ad dollars that once fueled primetime are shifting here, and what that means for advertisers who want more customers and creators who want to grow their influence. Chapter 1, Why YouTube Replaced Television. For 70 years, television worked the same way. You bought airtime, you broadcast to millions, and you hoped enough people care. Networks sold shows in blocks, advertisers bought 30-second spots during the Super Bowl, during Seinfeld, during Friends. They paid for reach, but they never really knew who was watching. Sure, there were ratings, demographics, households, but it was all a guess. You targeted women 25 to 54 or men 18 to 49 and crossed your fingers that your message landed with the right person at the right time. And for decades, it worked because there were only few channels, limited options. People just watched whatever was on. But then the internet happened and everything fragmented. First, cable exploded into hundreds of channels. Then streaming killed the TV schedule. And now we live in a world where everyone has their own personalized feed, curated by AI, shaped by their interests, delivered to the device in their hand. YouTube just didn't compete with television. It replaced it. According to Nielsen, YouTube is now the #1 streaming platform on TV screens in the United States, beating Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, every other service. People aren't just watching YouTube on their phones anymore. They're casting it to their living room TVs. They're choosing it over traditional streaming. And here's what separates YouTube from everything that came before. YouTube didn't replace TV by being bigger. It replaced TV by being smarter. Because on YouTube, there's no such thing as everyone being forced to watch the same thing in the living room anymore. Sure, streaming services try to personalize. Netflix gives you profiles. Hulu recommends shows. But that's surface level. They predict what you may like, not what you actually want to watch next. YouTube changed it. It didn't just recommend, it understood intent. People came searching for answers, ideas, inspiration. And in that process, YouTube gave everyone a voice. Creators spoke up and viewers found what they didn't even know they were looking for. YouTube democratized video, and suddenly everyone could find their corner of the world online. From that yoga teacher in a small town to a guy showing you how to fix your car filter, YouTube turned curiosity into connection. It wasn't about predicting what you'd watch. It was about helping you discover what you care about. And here's what makes it different. You still have access to everything. The Super Bowl, award shows, music videos from artists you love, all the big mainstream moments, but you're also getting hyper-specific content tailored to exactly what you care about. So when millions show up for the Super Bowl on YouTube, they're not there because it's the only thing on. They chose it. They're engaged. They're connected to that moment in a way TV audiences never were. Every audience on YouTube, whether it's 100 million watching a major event or 100,000 watching a niche creator, is higher quality because everyone opted in. And that opt-in model, it's what turned YouTube into something completely different from traditional TV. YouTube is a new television network, except instead of just a handful of channels, there are over 100 million. And every single one of them is programming for a specific audience. Billions of viewers are now watching their own version of primetime, each with a unique lineup of content, personalized by YouTube's recommendation system. What's even more fascinating is that creators on YouTube built this, not YouTube executives, not ad agencies. Individual creators who saw a niche that wasn't being served and said, I'll make content for these people. They built communities from scratch. They figured out what their audiences actually wanted. They created a trust that makes this whole model work. Every niche has its own community, its own stars, its own culture. Fitness, tech, finance, skincare, gaming, cooking. And when you advertise on YouTube, you're not just buying reach, you're buying context. Your ad doesn't just appear next to content, it appears next to trusted content, content that people choose, content that aligns with their interests. The internet created chaos, billions of options, endless choices, audiences scattered everywhere. But then YouTube figured it out, not by forcing everyone back into the same room, but by helping people find exactly what they were looking for. Chaos didn't destroy audiences, it sorted them. TV, guess who was watching? YouTube knows. And that changes everything. Chapter 2, how people actually buy. 10 years ago, If I wanted to buy something, the path was simple. You see a commercial, visit a store, compare a few options, make a decision. Today, the same purchase looks like a pinball machine, bouncing between YouTube reviews, Reddit threads, comparison sites, and AI recommendations. There's no straight line anymore, just constant ricochets through information until something clicks. And it doesn't happen step by step, it happens all at once. You're discovering, comparing, and deciding in real time across a dozen platforms, often before you even realize you're shopping. According to Google's research, 50% of consumers now watch an online video before making a purchase. That's up from just 34% 4 years ago. Half of all purchasing decisions now involve video research. People aren't just killing time on YouTube, they're learning, comparing, deciding. They're building a mental shortlist of which brands they trust. According to a survey conducted by Kantar, 80% of viewers in the United States agree that YouTube helps them make more confident shopping decisions. But here's where most advertisers still get it wrong. The traditional approach thinks in two extremes: awareness at the top and conversion at the bottom. At the top, you blast your message to everyone. Billboards, TV commercials, social media ads, hoping someone remembers your brand when they need it months later. At the bottom, you target people searching, someone typing in best air purifier into Google, because they're already ready to buy right now. But here's the problem. There's this massive space in between that most advertisers completely ignore. And that's where the real decisions are being made. Because the lower funnel isn't just search anymore. People have real purchase intent while they're watching YouTube videos, scrolling Google Discover, even checking their Gmail. They're ready to buy, they're just not on Google search yet. And here's what makes YouTube so powerful. It's not just tracking what you're watching right now. It's capturing signals across everything you do. What you searched for last week, which videos you watched yesterday, what you clicked on but didn't buy. YouTube can tell you're in the market for an air purifier even when you're watching a cooking video. That's called audience-based targeting, reaching the right person regardless of what they're watching at the exact moment. And Google's data proves it. When they launched a new AI-powered campaign built to reach people earlier in the journey, they found something surprising. Nearly 70% of the people who converted hadn't searched for that brand in the previous 30 days. In other words, the buying decision happened before search. These weren't people typing best air purifier. There were people discovering, comparing, and deciding long before they even reached the search bar. Think about your own behavior. When you're about to buy something, really about to buy, not just curious, what do? You watch that final review. You check out what people are saying. Then life happens. You move on to a music video, a cooking tutorial, something totally unrelated. Then you see an ad for that air purifier and suddenly you remember, oh yeah, I was gonna buy that. YouTube knew you were still in the market even when you forgot. You had intent. You just weren't searching yet. That's the window most advertisers miss completely. And it's massive because by the time someone searches for your product on Google, the game is already over. They've already decided which 3 brands they're considering. They've already formed their preferences. They've already decided who they trust. Chapter 3, why YouTube wins where TV never could. In the 90s, if Coca-Cola wanted to reach you, they bought a commercial slot during must-see TV. They showed the same ad to everyone watching Friends. Whether you drank soda or not, whether you cared about Coke or not, they had reach, millions of eyeballs, but zero relevance. It was interruption-based advertising. The goal was simple: show up enough times that when you walked into a store, you'd remember the brand. But today, that model is broken because advertisers used to have to choose massive reach with no targeting or precise targeting with limited scale. YouTube is a first platform that gives you both. Here's what makes it different. When you run an ad on other social platforms, you're interrupting someone's scroll. They're in kill time mode, passive, half paying attention. When you run an ad on traditional TV or streaming services, you're interrupting the show. They're waiting for you to finish so they can get you back to what they actually want you to watch. But on YouTube, the platform is built differently. When someone's watching a 15-minute product review, swiping through shorts, or browsing their feed, they're there for video content. They chose to open YouTube. They're engaged with that format. The common thread isn't the video link. It's that people come to YouTube with intent, to learn something, to research something, to solve something. Even when it's entertainment, it's chosen entertainment about topics they care about. And here's what makes this different. Creators on YouTube have a skin in the game. They only get paid when people actually watch. So they become experts at making content that holds attention. This is why YouTube has a higher average watch time than other social networks from our study at NP Digital. So when your ad shows up in that environment, you're appearing in a context where people are already engaged, already paying attention, already interested in video content. And YouTube does this at a scale that niche platforms can't touch. YouTube isn't just showing your ad next to relevant content, it's finding the right people based on everything that they do on the platform. What they search for, what they watch, what they skip, what makes them click. Audience-based targeting working across 3 billion users monthly. Every possible interest, every niche, every community. That combination, deep personalization in the right context at massive scale, is what separates YouTube from everything else. Old TV had reach without relevance. Niche platforms have relevance without reach. YouTube has both. This is why YouTube ads drive 3 times higher brand lift than the same ads on social media. It's not magic, it's context, relevance, and reach working together. Chapter 4, how to find your next customer. So how do you actually reach people in the stage at scale? This is where the advertising technology has evolved dramatically. For years, the only way to target people mid-funnel was to guess. You pick broad interest categories, let's say people interested in home improvement, and hope some of them were actually close to buying. Or you retarget people who visit your website, but that only works if they already knew you existed. The problem? You're either too broad and wasteful or too narrow and limited. Google built something called demand gen, an advertising campaign type specifically designed to find people in this mid to lower funnel moment. People who are ready to consider your brand even if they've never heard of you. It operates across YouTube Shorts, in-stream videos, YouTube feeds, Google Discover, and Gmail. And unlike search ads, demand gen lets you combine video, image, and text into one campaign. You can tell stories, build emotions, create desire, the same way TV used to, but with the precision of digital targeting. It works best when you upload a mix of creatives, like a 15-second video, 30-second video, images, even headlines and descriptions for your ads. And then the system automatically formats and places them where they'll perform the best. Vertical video for shorts, horizontal for in-stream, image carousels for feeds. The scale is massive, up to 3 billion users monthly. But that scale isn't the interesting part. The targeting is. Demand gen helps you find more people like your best customers. You start by uploading your own data, a list of customers who've already bought from you or people who have regularly engaged with your YouTube channel. From there, Google's AI looks at patterns across everything it knows, across this ecosystem, and it finds people who behave like your best customers. That's how it helps you reach new audiences and attract buyers who have never even heard of your brand before. Let me show you how this works. Take a national trade school client of ours. They turn to YouTube to get more student leads on a tight budget. They launch a few different demand gen campaigns, one aimed at Gen Z, using YouTube Shorts to reach students mid-scroll, and another focused on veterans around Veterans Day. Each campaign had its own creative approach. For veterans, they ran patriotic testimonials. For younger prospects, they used high-energy campus tour videos. The result? An 11% increase in student inquiries year over year while spending 15% less. And here's the kicker. The extra reach boosted search demand too, cutting their costs per lead on paid search by 32%. Now you may think, this making commercials sounds expensive. The biggest constraint in advertising used to be production. How long it takes to create assets, how much it costs to test variations. But today, production happens inside the same platform as media buying. You can test 20 creative versions in the time it used to take to produce 2. And even if you don't have a big budget for content or production, Demand Gen's built-in AI can help. All you have to do is upload a few basics: your logo, brand images, ad copy, and business name. From there, it automatically creates videos and images designed to expand your reach and boost your campaign performance. This is how even a small local business with 100 customers can compete with national brands. The system can tell the difference between someone casually browsing and someone actively in market. Someone watching a single video about air purifiers, probably just curious. Someone who watched 3 reviews, searched best air purifier for allergies, and then watched a comparison video, that person is close to buying. The system adjusts in real time, showing different creative, different messaging, different call to actions based on where someone actually is in their journey. You're not just broadcasting to everyone hoping someone cares. You're reaching people who are already showing signs that they're ready to consider a solution right before your competitors even know they exist. The ad dollars that once built TV empires are moving to YouTube. This is the new prime time. And a quick heads up, if you're in the US, Google is offering $2,000 in ad credits when you put $1,000 in your first demand gen campaign. You can grab it by going to g.co/ads/offer. It runs through December 31st or until they run out.